Good day, good people. The month of November marks the period from All Saints' Day, the 1st of November, to the day before Advent Sunday, which this year will be the 3rd of December. It is referred to in our common worship liturgy as the Kingdom season, and it includes the commemoration of All Souls, which we celebrated in the last few days, and Remembrance Sunday, which will be next weekend. As we go deeper into autumn, with the gales and storms around us and the leaves falling from our trees, it feels as if nature itself articulates the mood of our worship, reflective and tinged with loss and sadness, anticipating the coming of Advent, which marks the judgment of all things. Indeed, the season concludes on the last Sunday in November with the feast of Christ the King, which marks the sovereignty of God over all things. The kingdom, in the kingdom of season, is the kingdom of heaven. I'd like to read you some words from the pastoral introduction to the season, which observes that no Christian is solitary. Through baptism, we become members one of another in Christ, members of a company of saints whose mutual belonging transcends death. All Saints' Day and the commemoration of the faithful departed on All Souls' Day both celebrate this mutual belonging. All Saints' Day celebrates the men and women in whose lives the Church as a whole has seen the grace of God powerfully at work. We see this in our own St. Francis. It is an opportunity to give thanks for that grace and for the wonderful ends to which it has shaped a human life. It is a time to be encouraged by the example of the saints and to recall that sanctity may grow in ordinary circumstances as well as the extraordinary crises of human living. The commemoration of faithful departed, All Souls, celebrates the saints in a more local and intimate key. It allows us to remember with thanksgiving before God those whom we have known more directly, those who gave us life or who have nurtured us in the faith. The pastoral introduction continues. Redemption is a work of God's grace. It is God who redeems us in Christ, and there is nothing to be done beyond what Christ has done. But we still wait for the final consummation of God's new creation in Christ. Those who are Christ's, whether or not they have passed through death, are joined in prayer that God's kingdom will be revealed finally and in all its fullness. We also sense that it is a fearful thing to come before the unutterable goodness and holiness of God, even for those who are redeemed in Christ, that it is searing as well as life-giving to experience God's mercy. In a world of so much conflict, it is hard to feel the power of this assurance, and I will say a little more about this next week in my reflection for Remembrance Sunday. But in the meantime, I invite you into a consideration of the part we play within the communion of saints, the mystical body of the Church, which is the agent of Christ on the earth. As ever, I encourage you to remember to join us at public worship, in person or online, to join our social activities, which this week include the Mothers' Union coffee morning on Saturday morning and the wine tasting on Saturday evening. The PCC will meet next Monday, and our regular events will also be taking place, including the Place of Welcome on Wednesday, the Baby and Toddler Group on Thursday, Tea and Toast on Monday, and our monthly soup lunch will be next Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Look out also for the notice from the Mothers' Union about their dinner on the 16th of November, to which everyone is invited, and also their appeal for donations, for Christmas gifts, for women who are in refuge centres, and for socks and chocks, essential items and treats for users of the People's Kitchen. Can I also add a date to your diary for the afternoon of Saturday the 9th of December, when there will be a march in Newcastle to draw attention to the forthcoming United Nations COP28 climate meeting in the United Arab Emirates from the 30th of November to the 12th of December. Please don't neglect these opportunities to express our discipleship in prayer and action, the part we play in the communion of saints for the transformation of the earth.